carry them like I'm stepping whenever I'm in your town. The warriors in your presence, I manifest my endeavors.
It's Madden NFL 23, and we've got the Seahawks leader at quarterback. He was a tour de force a week ago, 6 passing touchdowns. It's the Seahawks and the Falcons, just ahead on EA Sports.
From the home of the 12s, they raised the banner just a moment ago. We are set for football at Lumen Field here a mile south of downtown Seattle. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Well, the Falcons now get to stretch their wings on offense here, and at quarterback for them is a former second overall pick who spent 4 seasons as a starter in Tennessee, Marcus Mariota.
And he's had good success here already this season throwing the football. 6 touchdown passes in his 2 games. He's really got this offense playing with a lot of confidence, trying to establish themselves early as a Super Bowl contender.
They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, a run with Patterson. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. This defense for the Seahawks very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there. Defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3-and-out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept them short of a first down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. That's taken at around the 40. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. As Seattle's offense comes onto the field, we'll see a 10-year veteran under center. Guy who broke into the league as a starter back in 2013, Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
From the 50, it's Smith. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Smith. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Throwing is Smith. Returning right back to Lockett. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here we go now on 1st and goal.
Ready.
To the air again, Smith. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 15 carries, 55 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
That's a big loss of footing, and it brings up 3rd down. Mariota. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Smith. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Smith. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Smith. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Smith throwing again. That's caught, and again it's Goodwin. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down. The Seahawks at 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced to punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Some good games coming up here in Week 3, the first weekend of fall officially. And tonight, the Niners and Broncos from Denver. 49er fans are probably saying, wait, I thought we were done with Russell Wilson. No, they'll see him tonight. And then on Monday night, Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium kicking off at 8:15 Eastern. On 2nd and 9, Mariota. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Got his man, it's London. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mariota now. That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Off the play fake, Mariota. And this one is incomplete. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run with a rookie from BYU, Tyler Algier. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. We're in the 2nd quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a 3rd person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone up.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 21-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. A long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but The way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Mariota's throw caught by Bird here. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To the air again, Mariota. Looking left sideline, incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing, Mariota. Open man, there is Patterson, complete. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Mariota to throw it. Caught on the slant. Touchdown. Demir Bird. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taking it about the 1. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. There's Tyler Lockett and the rest of his Seattle teammates coming out for the next possession. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. The extra point now coming from Myers. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see. Just one play resulting in the touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. For the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Complete to Zacchaeus. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and short yardage, Mariota. That'll be caught downfield by Bird. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mariota again. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will stay a 3-touchdown game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that. And this is caught inside the 5. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front in that one. Robbie Anderson, a touchdown reception. From there, we head east to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get over to Inglewood, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at SoFi Stadium. And that game's all tied up as they play the visiting Jaguars. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they too were able to take advantage of a soft secondary, as both of these two teams really threw the ball at will in that first half. Both these teams going through their final adjustments before heading back out of the locker room. Time for us to go back out to Lumen Field, where we rejoin Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Seahawks. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Now Myers for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. To throw Mariota. That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the first at the 32. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Now it's Lockett. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. There's Tyler Lockett and the rest of his Seattle teammates coming out for the next possession. And we get a peek at the kind of game he's having. It's been a good game. 8 catches now, Charles.
Everyone likes to spread the ball around. They want a lot of people to catch it and touch it, get a lot of guys involved. But sometimes when you have the hot hand or a person who's just really taking care of business in their part of the field, you have to keep going back to them.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown! Tyler Lockett, 52 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes, someone delivering it accurately, offensive line giving him time to throw the ball. A true team record, but he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Now, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Well, CD, as we look at this draft class, this offense received quite a bit of help this past April. It's a group very focused on this side of the ball, particularly when you look at those early picks.
Yeah, when you look at the top of the board, it's pretty clear they wanted an immediate impact player for their offense in the 1st round, and they got him. Beyond that, I like how they kept adding to that unit in the rounds that followed. Those other picks, they may not all be the same type of day-one difference makers, but coach them up, and they could make a difference down the road.
And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 1st and 10, it's Patterson.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll try to throw now. Mariota steps away to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Uchenna Nwosu able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And he is just 1 reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, hoping to fool him occasionally. If not fool him, fool the quarterback so that maybe he doesn't read the coverage correctly. Right now, though, they're in pretty good sync.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try for the first with Walker. to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Walker now on 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, it's Walker. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now Gino on 1st down. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 35 yards. And the Seahawks are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The extra point now coming from Myers. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time a 6-play drive.
And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown.
The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. 1st and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota
at their 25-yard line. Now Mariota. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Throwing is Mariota.
Another completion right back to Patterson.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The Falcons on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Mariota. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Returnable for Lockett. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
There's Tyler Lockett and the rest of his Seattle teammates coming out for the next possession.
He's been almost impossible to bottle up. You see that number 10 on your screen, a big reason why they have the lead.
One of the guys that's being featured in this game and making sure that he's targeted because they do trust him with the ball. That's why they go back to him time and time again.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Back to Walker on 1st down.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Again, it's Walker. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 59 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
11 more on that one and another first down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to...
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Now Myers for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Mariota. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
This is brought in at the 21. A good head-down running on the return. Gets about 15 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Smith going to throw it. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. He lets it fly for Lockett. And got his man complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago. And you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Seahawks, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns.
What I never do. How you supposed to walk with me? I'm 80 steps ahead of you. My mind is on Socrates.